Top 10 Richest Women in the World in 2021. Men occupy the list of the richest people in the world. However, dozens of women with wealth reached hundreds of billions of dollars. Some of them are heirs to billions of property, some are self-reliant women entrepreneurs. Despite the challenges they have shown in their sphere, now let us see the top 10 richest women in the world in 2021. 10th, Iris Fontbona and his family, 1942-18. World ranking. 87 net wealth, $20.40 billion. Major industry, the heir of Andronico Luxic Iberoa, mining country, Chile. Iris Fontbona, a widow of Andronico Luxic, who has 3 children. The husband has made rich by mining and beverage business. She inherited her wealth after his death in 2005. Iris and her children are now controlling Antofagasta plc, one of the world's largest copper mines, and Iris also owning shares in Chilean corporate groups such as banks, beer and manufacturing. Iris is also a rich woman who tried to avoid dealing with the media, whose family controls Antofagasta, one of the world's largest copper mines, and whose son Jean-Paul is now chairman of the company. 9th place, Zhong Hui Jain, born April 1961, world ranking. 70 net wealth, $22.6 billion. Main industry, pharmaceutical manufacturing country, China. Zhong Hui Jain and her husband Sun Piaoyang are called the Chinese medicine king couple and are the billionaire made by themselves through innovation and hard work. Zhong Hui Jain was originally a chemistry teacher. In 1995, her husband Sun Piaoyang and Hong Kong businessman jointly founded Han Sen Pharmaceutical. Because Sun Piaoyang had a company called Lian Yunggong Pharmaceutical Factory that he had started earlier, he was reluctant to give up, so he suggested that his wife resign as a teacher and invest in Han Sen Pharmaceutical. Zhong Hui Jain agreed. Although Zhong Hui Jain did not possess the professional knowledge of pharmaceutical research, she immediately showed extraordinary business and management capabilities. She personally took the scientific research personnel to work overtime in laboratories and production workshops. After countless nights and hundreds of experiments, Han Sen Pharmaceuticals finally launched the first competitive product, antibiotic Meifeng, in 1997. Meifeng had a sales revenue of $30 million that year, and later became a pillar product of Han Sen Pharmaceuticals with annual sales of over $100 million. After more than 20 years of development, Han Sen Pharmaceuticals has become a domestic leader in the development and production of anti-tumor and psychotropic drugs, and its key products are exported to more than 30 countries and regions. 8th place, Laurene Powell Jobs, born November 6, 1963, world ranking. 66 net wealth, $23.50 billion. Main industry, heir of Steve Jobs, founder of Apple Company country, United States. The widow of former Apple chief executive Steve Jobs. Laurene Powell Jobs' stake in Apple is not the only powerful aspect of her wealth. She also inherited her husband's Walt Disney alongside Apple, with 7.3% of Disney and 38.5 million Apple shares, respectively. She earned a BA in Political Science from the University of Pennsylvania School of Arts and Sciences and a BS degree in Economics from the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania in 1985. She received her MBA degree from the Stanford Graduate School of Business in 1991. In addition to her contact with Steve Jobs, Laurene was a co-founder and chairman of the board of directors of Emerson Collective, a national nonprofit organization, which was committed to sending poor youth to university. Laurene Powell Jobs formerly co-founded Terravera, a food company specializing in organic and healthy food products. Before attending business school, she worked for Goldman Sachs for 3 years to work for Merrill's Asset Management. 7th place, Susanne Klatten, born April 28, 1962, world ranking. 57 net wealth, $25.80 billion. Main industry, Altana, a large shareholder in BMW, one of the successors of the Quandt family country, Germany. Klatten owns 50.1% of the German pharmaceutical industry Altana, and is its sole owner and vice chairman, selling more than $2.5 billion annually in 2019. Moreover, Klatten also owns 19.2% of BMW's car group. Klatten's innovation is particularly prominent among billionaires. She is the founder of the Munich Industrial University Innovation Center, which is called the leading German business innovation center. Like many people of the Quandt family, Klatten is very low profile, very modest, never attending any big social parties, having no luxury, no grand horses, no high-profile customization, and only occasionally appearing in semi-recreational, semi-business events. 6th place, Jacqueline Mars, born October 10, 1939, world ranking. 46 net wealth, $28.90 billion. Main industry, candy, pet food. Air country, United States. Jacqueline Mars is Frank C. Mars's granddaughter. Frank C. is founder of Mars Corporation, American candy company. Jacqueline Mars is the custodian of the United States. She graduated from Bryn Mawr College, Pennsylvania and obtained an anthropology degree in 1961. She serves on the board of directors of the National Opera House, the National Sports Library and the Arts Museum in Washington. Jacqueline also serves as the National Advisory Council, a foundation for the promotion of American traditions, from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, to Thomas Jefferson's Monticello. Jacqueline is also a daily donor to the League of Conservation Voters, who won the National Archives Heritage Award. 5th place, Hui Yeon, born July 20, 1981, world ranking, 41 net wealth, $31.30 billion. Main industry, the second daughter of Yang Guoqiang, chairman of the Real Estate's Guian Board. Country, China. Hui Yeon, born in Shunde, Guangdong, graduated from Ohio State University. Currently co-chair of Beiyuan, chairman of Beiyuan Education Holdings Limited and honorary president of the National Public Goods Foundation. In February 2020, Yang was first in Forbes's list of richest women, with 1,869 million yuan, and has been in first place of the union for 4 consecutive years since 2017 and 2020. In the world's 500 list published in Fortune magazine, Beiyuan has 147 revenues in its $70,335 million operating income. After graduating from Ohio State University in 2005, Yang returned to Beiyuan, starting from the bottom of the company, with her first position as procurement manager, working hard to progress, not through nepotism, but through effort and talent. Yang Huiyan kept quiet to manage chaotic accounts and procurement procedures. Thus, the company, under her leadership, grew fast. She also brought a new American management team, which, to a large extent, replaced the original entrepreneurial team of Yang's powerful era. Yang Huiyan, who took the scepter, thought not just how to make the shift, but how to make the legacy of her father even greater. She was also happy to donate to charities, and by the end of 2020 she had made a personal contribution of 6 billion yuan. 4th place, Julia Koch, born April 12, 1962, world ranking, 26 net wealth, $44.90 billion. Major industry, Koch industry. Country, United States. Julia Koch and her 3 children inherited 42% of Koch's industrial stake, and her husband David Koch died at the age of 79 in August 2019. Julia, a native of Iowa, moved to New York City in the 1980s and served as an assistant to fashion designer Adolf. Julia met with David in 1991 during a blind date. They ran into each other 6 months later, then began dating and got married in 1996. She donated $10 million with her husband to the Sinai Medical Center and $10 million to the Stanford Children's Hospital to study food allergies. 3rd, Mackenzie Bezos, born April 7, 1970, world ranking, 22 net wealth, $57.10 billion. Main industry, the former wife of Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon. Country, United States. Mackenzie Bezos owns most of the Amazon stock, despite her husband's right to vote in the property she retains. Mackenzie met Jeff Bezos while working with the same hedge fund and married in 1993. She was one of the first employees of Amazon from California and was the first to join the company as accounting. She has a Princeton degree in English, and she also published 2 well-received novels, The Testing of Luther Albright and Traps. According to the American novelist Toni Morrison, she was one of the best students I've ever had. By the end of 2020, Mackenzie Bezos announced a second big donation in 2020, totaling nearly $4.2 billion to help people in trouble with COVID-19. She gave $6 billion in 2 donations in 2020, and she said she would donate most of her property to society. 2nd place, Alice Walton, 1949 to 1910. World ranking, 15 net wealth, $67.30 billion. The main industry, Walmart's welfare. Country, United States. Alice Walton, one of Walmart's welfares, graduated from Antonio Trinity University, Texas and obtained a Master of Economy and Finance. Despite the wealth inherited by Alice Walton, she devoted most of her time to other interests, an artistic lover, a horse raising and collecting famous works of art. She has $5 billion of collection of art. In 2005, she created a $50 million Crystal Bridge Museum in Arkansas, which contains 50,000 artistic masterpieces of treasures. Alice Walton bought a book of $35 million in Asher Brown Durant's classic work, Kindred Spirits. She also bought a series of works by David Hockney and Rita E. Fried at the Sotheby's auctions, worth $20 million. The Walton family's fund, run mainly by Alice Walton, supports economic development in the Mississippi Delta and Arkansas and protection of the situation. In 1994, Arkansas was a lack of financial support for the construction of the airport, and Alice Walton contributed $79.5 million. So the terminal of Arkansas Airport was named after her. The Walton family fund also contributed $3 billion to Arkansas to support education. First place, Francoise Bettencourt Meyers, July 10, 1953, World Ranking, 13 Net Wealth, $71.3 billion Main Industry, L'Oréal's Air Country, France. Francoise Bettencourt Meyers is the heir of the makeup company L'Oréal. She inherited the family property of her mother Liliane Bettencourt and owns 33% of L'Oréal stock. She and her family pledged to donate $226 million to rebuild the Church of Our Lady after the April 2019 fire. Bettencourt Meyers spends most of her efforts on the philanthropy of her family foundation, the Bettencourt-Schuler Foundation. Francoise Bettencourt Meyers is the only daughter of Liliane Bettencourt. Her mother, Liliane, has a cheerful personality, a royal demeanor, and is keen to socialize. She is a frequent visitor to dances and dinners, and she loves jewelry and fashion very much. She is the world's largest and most powerful major shareholder of L'Oréal. In September 2017, 94-year-old Liliane died at her home in Paris. All her assets were left to the sole heir, Francoise. Compared with her legendary mother, Francoise is very low-key. She rarely accepts media interviews and does not make many public appearances. Her husband Jean-Pierre Meyers was the son of a Jewish rabbi who was killed in Auschwitz. Rabbi refers to teachers, wise men, and religious intellectuals respected in Jewish society. The couple has 2 sons. Unlike other billionaires, Meyers is not a business person in the standard sense. In fact, she prefers literature and art. Reports show that she is a scholar, pianist, and writer. She has also published 3 books, one of which is about the Greek gods and the other is about Bible annotations, which are relatively unpopular. She herself serves as the chairman of the Bettencourt Family Charitable Foundation, which aims to encourage the advancement of France in the fields of science and art. It can be seen from the sources of wealth of these 10 women that most of them are inherited from their families or husbands. It is another important task for these rich women to make wealth in meaningful places. Thank you for supporting this channel. Please share this video and subscribe to see more in the future. Have a nice day, and stay tuned for more.